Hello, and welcome back to the Fili Daily Vlog. It is Monday, April 27th,
Yep.
2020, and we are into unbelievably, our 7th week of social
Whew.
distancing,
I thought
which
about that
Oof.
last night. It's the fact that we've almost been doing this for 2 months. It's insane.
truly, my brain cannot handle that information.
Right. I just don't even know what I'm doing with myself anymore. Like
Yeah.
I've seen you guys once in 2 months and it is mind-boggling.
it is
Mhm.
really weird,
I
really.
miss you guys.
I know, it's
I
just,
see you every day of the week and now it's been 2 months right now.
well, why don't we just quickly go through our normal coronavirus update since we haven't had one since Friday, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to share my screen here. All right, here we are. Worldwide, we're up to 2.9 million cases, 201,000 deaths. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. We've got pockets in Western Europe again,
Mm-hmm.
North America, Middle East is
Ooh.
got a pretty large number of cases as well. Russia has 87,000, which is a fairly large number as well.
That's just, we have so many cases compared to everyone else.
I
Like,
was gonna say-
granted, I know our population is pretty dense, but like,
Mhm.
we're almost 9 times the top person. Spain is the only one that's like anywhere near us.
Mhm. Well, it's crazy looking at look at the circle on us compared to even Russia. And Russia is way bigger than we are.
Right. Yeah, their population's a little more spread out, I would
True. I
assume,
mean,
but
and we have considerably more cases than they do. Just like for the size of our country compared to theirs, the amount of cases
right.
we have within
It's
that is just
insane.
it is.
What's one thing that's important to note is that Russia has a much smaller population than the United States, but even by those metrics, if we mouse over
Per
here,
1,000 people,
yeah,
per
60.3 cases
100,000.
in Russia versus 295
Wow.
cases in the United States. So even taking into account the difference in population, we're still significantly higher.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
What's crazy, like the fact that we are almost to 3 million cases worldwide. I mean,
Wow, so Italy's number is way higher, like the
oh
per
yeah,
100,000 people, because they've got 1,500 per
huh?
100,000 that have it. So it seems like just because you have bigger, smaller population, like their infection rate's way worse than ours is.
Mm-hmm.
well, let's move on down and look at our infection rate again. We're kind of seeing this, a little bit of a swing back upwards now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's interesting. Look at how we've had several kind of roller coaster rides here.
Yeah.
Just kind of interesting. So yeah, looking at our country map, um,
Yeah, the
LA.
area that the New York area is just terrifying.
Yeah, I would not want to be anywhere near that.
No,
Ugh.
yeah, just look at that. The
Ugh.
rate, almost 2,000 out of
That's
100,000 people have it. So one
Yep,
in
that's exactly what almost exactly what Italy's infection rate is.
one
Mm-hmm.
in 50 people basically
Wow.
has it in New
Yikes.
York.
That's crazy.
Chicago over here,
I was gonna say, I didn't realize Chicago was that bad.
Cook County, and it's even pretty high, 585.3. That's a big number as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look down here. This is Grand Island, Nebraska, I believe. And
Wow, their infection rate's insane, but they also don't have a very big population, so
well, this city is about the same size as Salina, about
yeah.
50,000 people.
Mm.
Yep.
And you can, just compare. There's us,
Yeah.
19 cases, 34.6 out of 100,000. This is where we could be.
Ooh.
900 cases, basically 1,500 people per thousand.
Good Lord.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Hopefully we can prevent that. So jumping down into Kansas really quick. This graph is just not good. Not good at all.
Wow.
No,
Oh
it
yeah,
doesn't seem like we were on kind of a decline and we're definitely back on a rise.
right. We made it to that first little peak and we were like, yeah, it's going down, we're doing good, and then like what happened?
Yesterday there was less reported cases. I don't
Uh-huh.
know if that's, if Sundays are just less reporting or what's driving
Mm.
that, but
They might be.
yeah. Here on the state map, you can see once again, Southwest Kansas is
Man.
growing.
Yep.
Um, Look at
I feel
that
bad for
rate
them.
per 100,000 people, 1,300 people. So
Oof.
let's see, what did that be? I guess 1.3 people per 100.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good grief.
yeah, it's yeah. Seward County. Look at this.
Oof.
Their infection rate is still growing.
Wow.
And here you can even see in Lyon and Finney
Uh-huh.
County
It's
how
getting worse as time
yeah
goes, not
it
getting better.
exactly it was good and now it's getting worse again.
What about Saline County?
We don't have enough cases for them to generate that
Yeah,
chart.
a little bar.
Mm.
Well, good. We're only 2 counties away though, so we need to
No, as
keep
long
it
as we don't,
together.
as long as we don't have people. I assume you guys probably saw it this weekend, but there was some lady who was confirmed to have a case of coronavirus,
Yes, who was
and
just
like,
walking around town.
yeah, like she went to like 3 separate grocery stores in one day,
Right. Right. And
knowing that she had
right.
it.
Right. Well, not necessarily knowing she had it, but definitely having symptoms.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
if you feel sick or you're coughing and you have a runny nose and
Mhm.
you're sick, whether you have coronavirus or not, stay home. Because
Well,
like
that,
even if it's the flu,
mhm.
like nobody wants your crud. Like
Right.
keep it to yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Well, even
Don't be
then,
going to grocery stores.
she went into at least 3 separate grocery stores, which is
Right.
just mind. So unless like
Right.
she went and
Like
couldn't
back
find
to
the
back
things
to
she
back.
wanted, like I don't understand the purpose of doing that.
Like just go to one. Like just don't go to any of them. Order your stuff online and have it delivered to you.
Right, which is what I mean. I've been doing that, and there are things that I can't get because I either don't have it or
Right.
like I
And
was gonna.
we went to the store one of those days. Well, Barnabas did because we were trying to get a pickup set up, and
Mm,
it was like they're scheduled for like 2 days out for pickup in some places. So
yeah.
like if you make a pickup order, it's going to take 2 days to get it, and we needed milk and formula. So he
Hmm.
went in and got milk and formula, and it was on the same day that she was in that exact same store. So
Oh my gosh,
yeah, neat.
that's
We've been
terrifying.
up until last week, we've been picking up from Dillon's and we've been
Mhm.
scheduling out 5 days because that was the
Yeah.
earliest they had
Yep.
available.
Yep.
And then Tim, since you've been talking about getting delivery, we looked into that and they had delivery available like the next day. So we've been doing delivery.
I've been able to like
Nice.
every time I've done it. Maybe I'm just lucky. I've managed to get it the same day. Like I can reserve
Wow.
it within like 2 hours
That's
or five
crazy.
hours. So maybe I don't know. I always tend to do it on Sunday. So maybe that's just a different
Ah,
That's
time.
probably a good time to do it.
that is probably a good
Because
time.
for me, it just makes sense because it's the beginning of the week, and
Yeah.
so
During the weekday, it seems like every time I get on, it's like the earliest we can deliver is tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 11.
really,
So I'm like, all right, gotta wait a whole day.
that's weird.
So I, I'm like, last week has been just really rough.
I heard you guys. The Stella went missing.
Yeah. So we moved to Salina in January with 3 cats and 2 dogs, and now we're down to 1 cat and 2 dogs. Yeah, Cosmo went missing about 3 weeks ago, a month ago, and he never showed up again. We found his collar on our driveway, which is just an odd place for it to be.
Hmm.
And then yeah, Stella, it was originally Tim's cat, and then we traded cats, and yeah, we're just really torn up about it. We don't know if we have a disgruntled neighbor or if we've
I
got.
can't I can't imagine that would be it because neighbors on the other side have 2 cats also. So like if they didn't like cats, they would have gotten rid of those 2 too, you'd think.
Hmm.
We don't know what to think. We're just
I was
we
the closest thing I can think of is that maybe. I mean, I don't know how active the river is right next to your house, but maybe they got swept down somehow by being too
the,
curious. But,
the only thing that goes against that is that the driveway is in the opposite direction of the river, and for
Right?
his collar to be on the end of the driveway makes no
No
sense.
sense.
We just don't.
mm,
We can't make
I
any
wonder
sense.
if you have a predator out there that's catching cats and the other two have just lived there longer so they know better.
We have
It's
had
possible.
bobcats in our area quite
Really?
a bit.
Wow.
We haven't seen them at our house or anything, but my mom's seen them about 9 months ago or a year ago.
Right.
And it
It's
is
just starting to
possible.
warm up again, so
Yeah, it's possible the bobcats are stealing cats, which would suck. But
there's a lot of foxes in that area too.
yeah, the
And
foxes
they don't normally tangle with cats, but if they're super
they like
desperate.
smaller stuff, and they tend to give cats quite a bit of room. But so
Hmm.
yeah, that's been one thing. We on the positive side, over the weekend we got a lot of our garden project done.
That's
Nice.
good.
I don't have pictures to share, but we laid down, we cut out an area of grass, we laid down stones around it, put rock in the
Nice.
middle, and then have about 90% of the, well, more like 75% of the wood structure up.
Mm.
And so
Nice.
really happy
Nice.
with it. I ended up with blisters on the
Oh,
Ooh,
paintings
that's
dang.
a big
that,
blister.
yeah, and I've got, you can't see them, but I have blister here, here, here,
Good
and on
lord.
the surface of my thumb.
Good
Do you wear
grief.
maybe you should wear gloves.
Well, I like the problem is that the gloves I had holes in them.
Ah,
So
Uh,
it made it worse. So I took off the gloves and then my blisters got even worse. And so I have new gloves
oh,
now, so next time that won't be an issue.
I still
Um,
that's good.
haven't gotten around to trying to start any kind of gardening yet. Mostly because I
I
just don't
know
want to
I
go
need
out.
to clean out my garden and do something with it before it gets
Mm.
overgrown.
I just
we,
like I would need to either build
I'll be right back. Keep
stuff
talking.
or find those ones that can sit over the porch, like you had mentioned.
Right. Yeah.
I am okay for the moment being able to sustain it, though I am starting to come closer to the end of my food stock up.
Oh yeah.
Like I've got
You're gonna have
enough
to
for.
actually do a big stock up of food.
I might have to again, depending on how long this is gonna last. Like
Yeah.
before this started, I mostly stocked up on meat and stuff and threw that in the freezer. I'm
Gotcha.
down to like
Yep.
another thing of salmon and like another thing of chicken, which thankfully, like the intermittent fasting, I don't go through stuff as fast because I'm only eating every other day. So that really helps
Very true.
push that out. I mean, I would have run out long ago um, if I were eating every day. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I've still got other stuff. Like I've got sometime this week, I'm probably gonna end up doing like waffles or something like that because I've still got like pancake
Ooh,
mix and stuff like that.
waffles. I have waffle
Right?
mix too. I love waffles.
It's been a while. Like I haven't had an actual like good waffle maker in a while, so I've just been doing pancakes. But
Gotcha.
I'm
Yep.
just it's one of the reasons why I wanted to buy like the Belgian waffle maker because I wanted those big kind of round ones because those are just those are waffles to me. Um, but like I've got that and I've got like a bunch of sausage links and stuff. I'm gonna plan to make like breakfast
Nice.
supper. I think tonight I'm actually gonna, assuming the weather stays nice and we don't get more rain. Um, I think I'm gonna try to bust out the grill.
Nice. I
And
was gonna ask you what you did over the weekend, if you grilled anything or if you just hung out.
I hadn't yet, mostly because Saturday was my eat day, and at least half that was taken up by
Mm,
D&D. So um, I did end up yesterday getting a steak from the store.
nice. Yep.
I got some asparagus and some bacon.
I
So
love steak and asparagus combo. That's the
right,
best.
right. I'm planning to. I think I'm gonna plan to do it tonight.
Nice.
I'm gonna cook the steak and do like bacon wrapped asparagus as a
Yes.
side, and maybe some
Did
mashed
you see the
potatoes.
steak that I had this weekend?
Yeah, that was a good cut too.
Oh, so good.
I believe it.
Such a good steak. Mm. You
It's
might
a,
have to go and like cop a picture of it and toss it in the video.
oh heck yeah! No, that looked amazing. I am envious that you live with a chef.
Oh, it was so good.
I mean,
Mm.
granted, I know how to cook too, but I'm not near anywhere near a cook like Barnabas. Uh,
Okay, so you've been walking a lot around our area.
yeah,
We live pretty close together. You've walked by my house a couple times.
hmm
I'm
you're
going
like
to start
maybe a mile from where I live.
right. I'm gonna start walking myself. With a stroller. I'm gonna take Cadmus and go walking. But
Nice.
how like is there anything around us that we should walk to keep it interesting?
Um, I mean, for me, so I have been going like in order to kind of achieve like my 2 miles, which is what
Mm-hmm.
I've been making myself do. I typically have been going um, up Ash straight to 9th Street and then over and then back down Iron. There's not a whole lot necessarily of interest around that area. I mean,
I
even going
know.
like through your
It's
block.
kind of a boring
Um,
neighborhood.
yeah, I mean, outside of the closest thing I could think of, if you didn't mind driving over to Sunset, or I don't know how far you are from Sunset, but
Yeah, I used to live right next to it, and that's pretty nice. You walk the little track,
mhm.
walk in circle.
That's
Yep.
not a bad place to go. I mean, there's not a whole lot of interest in that other than like walking down the street and looking at different houses.
Right.
Because like there are some decent looking houses around your neighborhood,
Right.
from what I've seen.
I thought about like trying to walk to a destination. Like you've walked to Indian Rock from your house, right?
Oh yeah, that's from my house to there. It's right about 2 miles,
Yeah. Yeah. That
and
makes
then
sense.
the
I was thinking
trail around there
maybe
is about a mile. So if you walk from like your place to Indian Rock, walk
uh-huh.
around Indian Rock and back, it'll be about 5 miles.
Nice. That's not bad. I bet that would take a while though. That's a long walk.
Yeah, well, and also depending on, I mean, you probably wouldn't do the full mile if you have Cadmus because
Yeah, no. I wouldn't
trails
want
are
to be
not
outside that long.
conducive. Well, trails are
Though
also not conducive to a thing, but
I do have a really nice stroller that's got the big like bicycle tires on it.
ooh,
So you can
nice.
like yeah, you can go jogging with it or you can roll it over whatever you want. It's a pretty nice stroller.
That's not a bad plan. I mean, it does at least have that kind of paved upward ramp, so
That's true.
you could take him if you walked from there and just went up that and then back. I mean, it's still at least 4 miles, but that's going to
Right.
be depending on your pace. Like myself, I tend to walk a mile in about 20 minutes.
Right. I
Um,
walk really fast. I'm a fast walker.
yeah, I depends on my mood and how quickly I want to do things. But so
hmm
like this weekend, like I did. So with that, like 3 miles usually takes me about an hour, which is like yesterday. I actually ended up doing 5 miles split apart,
Nice.
um, like 2 in the morning and then 3 in the evening. But
Not bad.
it's worth it just to at least get out there and kind of get out of the house. And
hmm
there are ways to like typically there's not necessarily a lot of people out.
Right.
So it's
That's
fairly
nice.
easy to avoid. Like the most I've ever come into contact with anybody um, was one day I had walked clear to I can't remember the name of it now. It's past West South, like one street past West South,
Mm.
like near Montrose in that area. That
Yeah.
there was a bunch of folks there hanging on the porch, and one guy came somewhat near me. And then,
Mhm.
like on my way home, I passed one guy on the sidewalk that was kind of unavoidable because he just happened to be there. And then I didn't have time to switch. And then
Gotcha.
I one couple who live on North Phillips that are like right across from Cottonwood. Both of their pups like came running after me,
Oh.
which was adorable. Like I didn't notice. Like I had heard something out of my earbuds, and I happened to look back, and so
You
I
had
kind of had
puppers following you.
yeah, and I had to kind of stop and hold them there till they could go and get them. So that was unavoidable.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't like. I'm not gonna ignore that their dogs are getting away, and like they were just super friendly, which is nice at least.
I'm gonna let your dogs run away. Right.
With me.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, typically like if you like, I would say like Sunset or like to the office or up Indian Rock. You could drive over to the office and walk from there. Because
That's true.
the one concern I would have if you're walking all the way up, the few times I've walked from my house to the office, typically because it's a busier street because you have to cross
Yeah.
Ohio at some point.
Yeah.
There
Iron
is
is a very busy walking
mhm.
street.
Typically you probably come into contact with somebody.
Mhm.
I mean, you can always try and veer off the path to try and
Right.
avoid them, but
Yep. Yep. I used
I
to
gotta
walk from the
jump off real
Ashby
quick.
house.
So I'm going to jump off. Have a good day, and I'll let you guys wrap up. Thanks a
okay.
lot.
Okay.
Well,
Bye. But I used to walk from the Ashby house to my old apartment on
mm,
Ohio. So it's about the same distance. I live about 2 blocks from the Ashby house from where I'm at now.
right,
And
yeah.
then yeah, work is pretty much 2 blocks away from that apartment where I lived.
Hmm.
So I'd be walking maybe an extra 4 blocks to like walk from here to work as it is. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've made that trek quite a few times.
Hmm. I was gonna say, I for me, I just really enjoy walking. I love going out and it's not only like good exercise, but it's just for me, it's relaxing. Like I love.
Hmm.
That's one of the reasons why like I love having my iPod Classic with me because it's not like I don't have to worry about other stuff coming in, and it's just the music I want, and you know,
Okay. Do
and
you
I'm
have
able to
any?
track my stuff. I do have a list of questions.
Okay.
So, um,
We probably have time for at least one. We've been going at it for 20 minutes or so already. So
yeah, we've got time for a couple anyway. Let's see here. What would a world populated by clones be like to you? Or sorry, what would a world population of clones of you be like?
oh god. Well, some of them would be really motivated to do everything and they
Mhm.
would get fixated on it and then they would do everything. And the other ones would be like really I don't know the word.
Like
Maybe
apathetic.
not. Yeah, pretty apathetic. They would just
Mhm.
kind of exist and they would be like, I'm going to do things that please me and only things that please me. There's a 50-50. I don't think there's any in between.
Gotcha. I think for mine, oh man, it seems like a weird like I would hope to think that several clones of me would help bolster like good vibes and just general niceness around. But
Yeah.
I think for as much as I think myself, you and Gus all are
Mhm.
pretty like goody two shoes people. I think we all have like a dark side that doesn't necessarily come. I mean, we all have bad days and bad feelings and stuff every once in a while.
So out of like 100,000 clones, like 50 of them would be our dark sides.
I mean, yes, evil Amber.
Oh boy.
It'll just be like Dark Link. They'll mirror everything you do.
But for me, they wouldn't even really be like malicious because like I don't really have a malicious side. They'd be malicious to other bad people. And if it was just a world of only me, then it would be like them being malicious to themselves because they think they're bad people.
Mm. Oh man.
Because like people who abuse animals, like I would abuse them
Hmm.
back, but like
See, now that has me thinking about like the self-loathing side of me, which I
right.
I struggle a lot with that, and so like I don't even want to think about that, what that version of me would do if that was like
Right.
the only section. It kind of makes me think of Scott, like Dark Scott Pilgrim. He's just a really nice
Yes. That's hilarious.
guy. That's kind of a tough question. Let's see. Um,
Hmm.
okay, this is a good one, especially since you have children now, or have child now.
Okay.
Um, when you are old, what do you think children will ask you to tell stories about?
Um Probably the beginning of the internet.
Mm,
I would say probably like the way we absorb media. So like cassette tapes versus
mm,
discs versus
yeah.
streaming things. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they'll probably want to know about that. And then probably like historical events. Like I'm not gonna say this one specifically, but we're
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of one, so they might
Right.
want
Yeah.
stories of that. Kind of like we asked like our great grandparents stories about like the
Mm-hmm.
Great Depression.
Yeah.
But that's what I would say. Probably general stuff like that.
I can believe that. I know, like, it's so mind-boggling to me that like, Generation Z, like the current young generation,
Yeah.
most of them don't even know what like a CD player or like a Walkman is,
Yeah.
which is
They've
just
never seen it. They're like, how do you get music on a disc?
right. Oh my God, that kills me inside.
Right.
Like that,
Right.
like a lot of them have never even seen a VCR.
Right. Yep.
Like I
Yep. VHS tapes.
like I don't know if you've seen like any of those like kids react videos
I
on
have.
YouTube.
I have.
Some of them it hurts me internally. Like because I grew up like when I was growing up, I remember when we got our first DVD player.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy. Like
Yeah,
that was like sorcery.
it pretty much was like I
And
like
DVDs are so much smaller and easier to store than the VHSs.
oh yeah,
Like,
we had basically
whoa.
we had a kind of a cabinet thing that I don't know what else to call it other than like a silvering unit, but it took
Yeah.
up like almost an entire wall. It seemed like from like ceiling to
Yeah.
floor, and it was just
Of just
full
movies
of
and stuff.
VHS tapes. Like
Yes.
we didn't have cable.
Hundreds of them.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like we didn't really have cable or satellite growing up, so
Right.
what we
Like all the
watched.
Disney movies and
Oh
just
yeah,
everything.
like what we watched was typically what we either had on hand or what we got
Uh-huh.
from the library. And most of the like
Yep.
I remember so often going to the library and taking out VHS tapes. And I still have my VCR.
Yep.
I still have a bunch of like not long before I graduated from KW, the campus library was getting rid of a bunch of their VHS tapes. And like
Oh,
all
wow.
of them were at least the ones that like whoever like the main librarian was at the time, I guess knew me and knew that I liked old media, like
Nice.
older movies and stuff. And so like they contacted me while I was in there, like, you wouldn't happen to want these, would you? And so like most of them, if not all of them, are like all like silent movies. Like,
Oh, that's so
oh
cool.
heck yeah! Like there's some Rudolph Valentino in there. There's some Charlie
Neat.
Chaplin, some Buster Keaton. There's a bunch of them. I think. And so like this,
Nice.
I have thought about converting them to DVD simply for the sake of like easier
Having them.
storage.
Right.
And just
Well,
for
that and VHS tapes break down over time, so
they do, and
unless
so
you're like really good at taking care of them.
and I've thought about that. The problem is I don't have the equipment necessary to do that,
Read,
and
copy, and write.
right, and I'm being very like I'm not necessarily the most frugal when it comes to my money. Like I will spend money on something that I want if I want it bad enough.
Right.
But like
Right.
once I've done it, then there's no need for me to do it again. So
True.
like the
True.
only reason I would do that is if I wanted to like keep the VCR and like have a combination VCR DVD player for whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I have like at least 3 different options for that because I've got like both my Xbox and my technically my 360, my Xbox One, and my PlayStation all read DVD and Blu-ray. Well, the 360 may not read Blu-ray, but like
Yeah.
they all read
Yeah.
discs. So, I have all those in option. I did have like, and plus my actual DVD player is at the studio. So,
Right. I forgot about that.
and I still need to get a universal remote for that.
Nice. I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, what current slang words and expressions do you think will endure the test of time?
Current slang.
Yep.
I mean, most don't hold up. I feel like
Well, like when I
they
think
usually
of,
come
like,
back around. Like the one that comes to mind right now a lot is like is yeet.
Mhm.
Oh, thanks, Zoom. They just removed the 40-minute limit from our session.
I noticed that. Yeah, like yeeting something. Yeet. I feel like that'll probably stick.
That probably will.
Just because it's so, I don't know. I feel like older adults are using that one too. But things
I've
like
noticed
LOL,
myself using that. Yeah. Is that current slang?
I don't know, because it started so long ago, but it's been something that everyone just uses like
It
continuously
is.
all the time. So like it's technically current because people still use it. So is it already enduring the test of time?
I guess. Like, well, the weird thing about that one is that there are different versions for the acronym. Because I mean,
Right.
the most accepted one is laugh out loud.
Right.
But I know for a long time, like when my parents started texting,
Uh-huh.
that was a really weird day. Like I got my first text, I'm like, what the hell? They was like, my mom would send that, and like their version is lots of love.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's weird that there are different versions of that. But I would agree, like LOL, and definitely one that I think that one's gonna stick around because it's just kind of universally accepted now.
Right. Like people like even say it out loud instead of just laughing. Like
Right, which is so weird. Like typically, I actually will laugh. Like I'll say "lol" if it's in a text or in a message, but
right.
even
But
then,
like
I still bounce back
some
and forth
people
between
still
doing
say it out loud. It's weird to me.
that. It
Like
is super
just
weird.
laugh.
What if we just start talking in like an out like or
Text speak.
that'd be so weird.
It would be weird.
Like I suppose like I think so. At least as far as some of the current slang that I don't think will make it, I'm pretty sure "bay" is dead, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that one. Nope.
I'm also was not a fan of YOLO.
I was not a fan of YOLO either. I'm glad it also kind of took a knee.
Uh-huh. I like I have a bad experience with it. Well, not a bad experience. Like when I was a sophomore,
Mm-hmm.
there was like an incoming freshman when I was in Coffeyville who
Ooh,
like
yeah.
I swear to God that was like his life motto. And it was so damn annoying. Like he not only did he say that like everything with everything,
Oh
he
my
shaved
God.
it into the side of his head.
Why? Oh God,
'Cause
why?
dumb. 'Cause
Ugh.
I don't know, like that. Those are the only ones I can think of at the moment. Like, I think I've got one other question if you're down for
Sure.
it.
It looks like we probably have a little bit of time left.
Yeah. Uh, okay. Um, what food combinations do you what weird food combinations do you really enjoy?
Not very many of them because I really don't enjoy weird food combinations because I have this weird like flavor texture problem.
Mm.
So like people who mix things together that I just texturally don't think should go together makes me want to vomit. Like sometimes Barnabas will mix pineapple and cottage cheese together and eat that. And I'm just like, every time. And he's like, no, it's so good. It's delicious. And I just like
I
standing in
like
the
both of
corner about
those
to barf.
separately.
Yeah, me too. But together,
I guess I would try it,
uh,
but I don't know that I would. I don't know. I like there's some weird stuff. Like I don't know how you feel. Like the weirdest one I can come to think of at the moment is like peanut butter and bacon.
yeah, that's not bad.
Like
That's an okay texture
as a
combo.
sandwich. Like I don't know. There's
Yeah.
something about like the savory nature of both,
Mm-hmm.
like of both, and kind of like the
Mm-hmm.
just
And
like
peanut butter is just a little sweet, so
yeah, like it works
it's a good
together.
combo.
Like
It is.
that one works. But I know like the one I will never understand and just makes me gag at the thought of is peanut butter and pickles.
What? Why?
Because
Why
people
would
are
somebody do
weird.
that?
Like
People weird me out. Like some people put like ketchup in their mac and cheese, and I'm just like, why?
I'm
Ugh.
not okay with that. That's not okay.
Why would you do that? That's disgusting.
Like the peanut butter and pickles
You're
thing.
ruining perfectly good mac and cheese.
It's so true. Like the peanut butter and pickles thing. I remember the first time I encountered that was my brother and I used to go to a babysitter
Mm.
after school when we were younger,
Mm-hmm.
and she is the one who introduced him to that. And then like
Ugh.
he like I swear I'm the only member of my family that doesn't like condiments or
Ugh.
doesn't like pickles and stuff. So like I'm the
Yeah.
weird one out.
I wasn't ever a really big fan of condiments. Like the only ones I really like are like ketchup, like sometimes mayo, um,
Mm,
sometimes mustard. I do like dill pickles, but not like on things. I just like to kind of eat them separately,
mm. Like
and
I
that's about it.
pickles I can't handle at all. The flavoring and the smell. Like there are people who straight up will just drink pickle juice, and that's
Nope,
just
can't do that. I will eat pickles, cannot drink pickle
eh.
juice. Too
um
much.
exactly. But like for me, like the only condiments I can really stomach, like I don't mind barbecue is a given. Like that one's perfectly fine, and I will do that one.
Barbecue
Um,
is okay, but only sometimes and on some things.
Gotcha. For me, like really only on either chicken or like pork, typically.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Occasionally beef if it's already like with the burger. It depends. Like that one. That one I'm fine with. I don't use it in abundance, but I will use barbecue sauce.
Right.
Ketchup only if something is burnt beyond recognition.
Yep.
Because like if somebody like I haven't eaten a hot dog in a long time, but
Nope.
we've all been to places where people will like char it beyond.
Yes.
That's the only way to make that any kind of better. If it's already on a burger, I can stand it. But
Hmm.
like Burger King, I've noticed they apparently do a weird thing where like they'll put mayo and ketchup on a burger,
Hmm.
and that I can weirdly stand. Like, I'm not big on mayo by any means.
Right. Right.
Although technically, like, I guess, like, is aioli considered mayo?
It's a mustard mix.
Really?
Hmm.
Because I cannot stand mustard, but I don't like garlic aioli. I like if it
Oh, okay. Yeah.
that like on a burger or something like that or fries. Um, that is a good. Ooh, actually, I just thought of another weird combination. Um, if you ever have the chance to go by the burger stand in Lawrence,
Uh-huh.
do so. The burgers are amazing. Their alcoholic milkshakes are to die for, and
Uh-huh.
so they have this assortment of different um, sauces and stuff for not only like your burgers and your fries.
Right.
And one of the ones that they have is this kind of marshmallow sauce
Hmm.
that I guess just kind of it's sweet and it tastes like marshmallows. It's
Weird.
surprisingly really good with fries. Like
Huh.
I don't know how to explain it. It sounds super weird, but it is amazing.
Okay. I believe you. Yeah.
um, all right, guys. Well, this is again Tim and Amber from Fili Creative. As always, if you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Or if you want to see more, hit that notification bell. And we'll be back tomorrow with another daily vlog. See ya.
Ooh, bye.